everybody, Jo here again. Thanks for popping in. I hope you've got your brew. I've got mine. Plump up your cushions. We're going to have a bit of coffee time together. And it's a bit dark here in Cheshire today. In fact, it's raining again. I know some of you got it really hot, so, you know, what's up with the weather? You could do with the rain and we could do with your sun. Let's do a bit of a swap, hey? Now, today, just in my coffee break, I'm going to be making some toppers, and I've got a friend who makes charity cards. They're for a local hospice, and they're looking at making festive designs already. So I said I'd come up with a few toppers for her just to help out, and I've come up with this idea. And it's just using a scrap of card which is 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So again, when you're mass producing, it's quite nice to not use a lot of card. And to be honest, if you're anything like me, I've got so many scraps and I keep every single one of them, and I bet you do. And I've made a couple of alternatives. So this is the one I'm going to create today. But I mixed it up a bit by just having it upside down, and I'm not quite sure which one I like. I've got to be honest, I think I like this one best, but I quite like that. But it's good when you're stamping. Well, for me, I get really bored doing the same thing twice. Well, certainly when it comes to mass 3-4 times. So I like to mix it up a bit. So again, you could make the design and decide which way it was going only when it comes to stamping your sentiments, or this is one of our sentiment stickers. And obviously I've added a little bit on the envelope. Again, I haven't added colour. I've just left it in the Versafine Clair ink because then it's permanent ink. So if it's going to go in the post, if it gets wet, again, speaking of the rain, it won't run. I've added a little bit of my posca, which again is fine because as we know, that's acrylic paint. Once it's dry, it's permanent. I've purposely not added glitter to these because sometimes I just feel not everybody likes glitter, but again, you could mix it up. You could add stickles on some and leave some without. So that's where we're going today, and I'm going to move those aside. This is especially for Gillian's husband because he gets really upset when I lift my cup of tea or my cup of coffee over my work, and he has got a good point, so thank you. So I'm going to put that over there and keep it well away. So we're going to start off with a piece of, it is funny the habits we get into, isn't it? And often we don't realise we're doing it until somebody else points it out. So I'm just going to use my craft mat. And again, you can put your little banner. As you know, I love doing this. It's something I've done for years. And you can put it wherever you want on the design. I'm just using my craft mat as a guide. And I'm going to come in, the first thing I'm going to do is add my ink, and I'm going to use the elements. And the Sahara, I feel it's a misused colour. Not many people love it. And I think it's because it's almost like, I call it a dirty, muddy yellow. Anyway, sort of sums it up, but I think it just gives a nice vintage feel. It's sort of brown without being too brown. Yellowy brown, maybe we should call it. So I'm just going to ink up, starting on the corners. And I just want to go around my design. Again, I'm making sure I always tap on the lid, just so I don't get too much in any marks. Then I'll just go across the bottom here, but I just want to leave a whiter area. It's just the whole design will look better if we have got a brighter, whiter area. And again, I'll start on this bottom corner. And like I say, batch card making, you would probably, well, I would, just create all the ink in first, or probably maybe do about half a dozen of them at a time. I just want a little bit darker on these corners. Now I'm thinking this one, we're probably going to do it hanging down, so if I look at it like this, so a bit darker up here. I like the corners darker, it sort of frames the whole design, and we can go down there and down there. Yep. And I'm just going to give that a bit of a spritz. Just clean that up, be a good girl, get my inky binky. And then onto the stamping. And again, I'm not going to use a lot of stamps for this. I've got this lovely winter berries. Now this there's 2 on the stamp set, but the other one It's quite large. Look, I mean, you could use this. I mean, that'd look, oh, actually, that would look quite nice, wouldn't it? You could do, shall we have a go with it? I'll tell you what, we're going to have a go with this one as well. But this is what I do. Are you the same? I start with a plan. I'm going on the same. I'm thinking if we stamp one of these down the middle, but it'll be good to see an alternative, won't it? So we're hanging down. I've got my lovely bow to go at the top. And don't worry about, we've obviously got 2 berries we're not going to see. That doesn't matter. So we'll come in with the smaller one now. But again, you could do, you know, if you sell, or if for charity you've got your designs in packs, just working out where to put this. These would make a nice pack because you could do them similar but different, couldn't you? That's what I'm thinking. Now I like that shape and I like that hanging there. So what I'm thinking is let's bring in our little pound holly. And I'm just thinking at the top here, we'll add a little bit of holly where we're going to put the bow. And then maybe just a touch of holly there and there, so that'll pop down. And then maybe just one there, one there. I think a hint there. Just have to watch the stem, doesn't. Be mindful when you're stamping here, because obviously they're masking tape. Right, I like that. I think this might look, I do this, you know. I get quite excited when I change a design up and I think it's going to look even better than the one I did. Or is that just me being silly? I have to say, I do enjoy our time together. And I love it when you message me and send me such wonderful feedback. You know, I do feel very blessed that I'm able to come into your home and spend time with you. Now, I'm very quickly going to add some colour. And for this, I'm using the clean colour pens. You know, these are like my best friend. And this one's red. So it's number 20 and it's red. And it's just, again, I'm thinking, if you're batch card making, it gives a lovely bright. Now, there's no point colouring the ones on the tape, is there? If you're anything like me, you get a bit carried away and I'm likely to colour them all. And I'm not even going to use 2 colours, light and dark. I'm just going to go for the one red. Now, you could spend time, again, this is a design. If you wanted to sort of, you know, put it up a notch, you could do blending, you could add another red. But again, this is, I'm thinking, mass produced. So for me, I want something that looks effective. But A, isn't going to cost a lot, especially if you're making cards for, you know, for charity. And also, to be honest, even for ourselves, I think we need to be mindful. Obviously, some cards, you know, we spend a little bit more time and money on. Others, we do need ones that we can quite quickly create and inexpensively. So again, I just think one pen and some simple colouring, but it will look effective. As I say, if I wanted to come in and darken these, I mean, again, I could add glossy accents, but no need, I'm happy with that. Now, I could add some faux bleaching again round the edge, but I'm not going to because I just want to add my posca to this again. So I'm actually going to heat that up with my heat tool, just because my clean colour, if I put the posca on while it's wet, it almost takes the colour, because the water-based. Until it's dry, your posca almost acts as though it's water-based, even though it's acrylic. It will suck up the colour, and my white snow would end up pink. So at home, again, I would leave these, probably batch card make to this, and then leave it and add all the posca at the same time. But just to show you, we'll heat it up, because I know a few of you have been asking again about the posca. So a quick sip of tea. Oh, Eric's wandered off. Maybe he doesn't like the heat tool. So, shape my posca pen. Now, I could add some highlights if I wanted, but I'm thinking, do you know what? We'll just go with snow. And I don't want my snow on the banner, so I'm going to leave my tape on. If you want your snow going right across, take your little tape off and then add your snow. A good shake. Now, if it needs a pump, just pump it up on your mat and then direct it where you want it. Hit the sweet spot. There we go. Snow on those berries, which is what we want. And then on these berries here. And again, I'm holding my pen quite close. Doesn't need to be. Leslie, I'm thinking of you. None of this up here where you get it up the walls. Oh, shh. Yeah, that's our little secret, isn't it? No, don't worry, nobody'll say. Nobody'll know. I mean, how many of you have got this? I love demonstrating this. And you have to say to people, stand back. But really, look, you can direct it. Get it exactly where you want it. But you see, if I just show you where the pen isn't quite dry, even though I use my heat tool, can you see it's almost gone a bit pinky? So the way to stop that happening is actually let it dry. So obviously I'll let this dry properly before I add any more. So we'll take that off, look. And there you go. How lovely is that? Let's just stamp up our greeting, because I think this one's definitely going this way, and we're going to go with just for you. Now this could even be for a birthday around Christmas, couldn't it? And I think the greeting just in the middle there. And then, like I say, that'll go. If I open this one up, that will go. I will mat and layer it, pop it on my card, and a little bow at the top. But if you wanted to mix and match, you could put a bow here. Now, I've gone for a white bow, but actually, I think a red one would work well too, would really make it pop. So, lots of alternatives for you there. So, I do hope you've enjoyed popping in. I hope it's given you some ideas of what to do, but also please use those scraps of card up. That's what we want to do, especially for things like Christmas where we're going to be making so many cards. It's time to use those. Look, Gillian, tea's going round, look. You didn't see it, look, I took it round. I've been listening. I'm a good girl. So yeah, let's use our scraps up. You know, let's stop cutting into big pieces of card for little things. So I'm going to go ahead now and create another one. So you take care. I hope you have a go. Let me see what you make if you do. I'm thinking I could make a set of these for a friend as well. That'd be a nice present, wouldn't it? Anyway, cheers. I'm going to finish my tea. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.